Hey peeps, this is Doris, and I am here to talk about Raw this week. It was okay. Um, we had the wedding of Lana and Lashley, and we had a couple of good matches. The Lana and Lashley wedding was just, of course, a WWE wedding and absolutely ridiculous. There was a few interruptions. We, of course, had Lana interrupting the man doing the wedding and, of course, making her out to be the best, and she's not having children, and kept screaming at the audience. And we saw someone who claimed to be Lana's first husband interrupt the wedding. Then we had someone who claims that she is Bobby Lashley's first wife interrupt the wedding. And then we had Liv Morgan interrupt the wedding and claim that her and Lana were having a romantic affair and she couldn't believe how Lana is doing this. So then we had a really big cake in the ring, and we all know what that's for. And of course, it was. Rusev jumped out of the cake and attacked Bobby Lashley, and Raw went off the air with Liv and Lana in a cat fight, and Bobby Lashley getting his butt beat by Rusev once again. But that was took way too much time. It was like a 25-minute segment, and it was just ridiculous. If you want to see it, you can probably watch the clip on YouTube, but it was not even really funny. It was just stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. But anywho, so we saw KO to start Raw, and he talked about Seth and AOP and how he was good with them attacking him because he could fight his own battles, but how he drew the line when they started attacking people that he respected, like Rey Mysterio, and he claims that he believes that is why Rey Mysterio lost the title last week to Andrade, is because of that attack, which made Rey not 100% when he faced Andrade. And he talked about them attacking Samoa Joe, and then once again called them out to the ring, and they came. He met them on the ramp, and they started beating the crap out of him. And just when you thought that Kevin Owens was going to be dead, Samoa Joe's music hits. Yes, people, Samoa Joe is officially face, we think, and stood by Kevin Owens and helped Kevin Owens beat up Seth Rollins and AOP. It was kind of like a back and forth thing. Security came out, separated them, and of course, you know that took a while. They kept breaking loose and attacking each other, and Kevin Owens did a backflip over the top rope and jumped on everybody. And then we go to commercial. We come back from commercial. We have Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe in the dressing room. So Kevin Owens says that if anybody's going to stand beside him, he's glad that it's Samoa Joe and that he appreciates Samoa Joe's help. And Samoa Joe says how he was forced to get involved, that Seth forced his hand, and now that Kevin Owens will not have to stand alone anymore, and that he is with Kevin Owens to do the battle. Security comes and escorts them out of the building. Later, we see the security do the same thing to Seth Rollins and AOP. When they took Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe out of the building, Kevin Owens looks at Samoa Joe and says, I think we've accomplished what we wanted to this week. Samoa Joe agrees, and they leave. We had Eric Rowan versus a man named Kipper, and that was a squash match. We saw a rematch between Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy. Aleister Black won that with Black Mass. It did go back and forth. It was a very physical match, like the one at TLC. But like I said, Aleister Black won. Buddy Murphy did come close a time or two, but didn't have what he needed to get it done. We saw Charlotte Flair issue an open challenge to any of the women in the back and how she was going to prove that she's the queen. We had Natalia Hart or Natalia Neidhart uh, respond to that, and after going a little bit back and forth, we had Natalia tap out to the figure eight. One of the announcers did make a mistake by saying that they had the great opportunity of seeing two second generation women in the ring. We all know that Natalia is not a second generation wrestler, but a third generation wrestler. She is part of the Hart family, so hence the patriarch Stu Hart would be the first generation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart would be the second generation, and Natalia the third. She's the first third generation woman to be in the WWE. But I'm being picky. But oh well. We saw Ricochet come out and save a local talent from Andrade. He was going to do the Hammerlock DDT on the cement like he had done in the past. Ricochet grabbed the mic and challenged Andrade to a match with him. They had a title match, which Andrade ended up winning after Zelina got involved by pushing Ricochet off the top rope, and he ended up getting pinned after the Hammerlock DDT. We saw Drew McIntyre take on Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins in a 2-on-1. Drew ended up beating them both. We saw Randy Orton come out after an announcement that he had been injured the previous night and he had really hurt his knee. They showed him being carried out on a stretcher. Some pictures from the previous night. He came out on crutches and said that he had really hurt himself. He was going to be out for a while, but he would do everything in his power to make sure that someone got RKO'd at Mania. This brought out AJ Styles, who said that he was very upset that he had to wait till Mania to face Randy Orton, but that he was very patient and he was willing to wait. And when he did face Randy at Mania, he would retire him. And this went on with some poking and prodding and taunting from AJ to Randy, trying to get Randy to bite. Randy did not. And towards the end, AJ kicked one of the crutches out from Randy. Randy grabbed the mic again and said, "You know, AJ?" And AJ said, "What, Randy?" And Randy said, "You might be patient, but I'm not." And he RKO's AJ Styles in the middle of the ring and proceeds to jump around the ring, showing us that it was all a scam. He is not hurt. He is perfectly fine. And he leaves the ring. We saw the Street Profits face the OC. And we find out that next week there's going to be a triple threat tag team match between Street Profits, Viking Raiders, and the OC for the belts. We also found out that Brock Lesnar will be at Raw next week. He does still have the title. And we found out that Becky Lynch confirmed her match with Asuka for the Rumble and claims that the only reason that match was made was because Becky's contract is up and that she demanded it. We also know that Daniel Bryan is going to be facing The Fiend at the Rumble for the title. Uh, I think. I also wanted to say how in a few weeks I may have an opportunity to interview Bobby Blaze. Some of you may remember him. He was an enhancement talent back in the 90s. He retired, I believe, in 2004. He wrestled a little bit for WWE. Very short time. He also was in WCW. He was in the OOW or OWW. He did New Japan. He won a couple of titles. Nothing too major. He was never a main roster type of guy, but he did wrestle for a while. So I can interview him. I was thinking about doing a video with an interview with him and then maybe seeing what happens from there. Um, I was thinking that if you guys were interested, you could let me know in the comments. We could also do something where you guys submit questions for me to ask. And if there's enough interest, maybe I will see if he would be willing to do a live stream with me. And then other people can get up on panel and interact with him. Because I remember him. If you look him up, you'll see his picture. I'm sure you'll remember seeing him wrestle. But let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know if you'd be interested in me doing a video like that. All right. So smash the like buttons. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like about Raw, and subscribe if you haven't, peeps. All right, and I will talk to you guys probably Saturday with NXT. It was just their year-end their year-end awards, so they just did some recaps of some takeover matches from the year, and other than that, just did the awards. And we will talk about SmackDown. All right, and I will talk to you peeps later. You have a good night and peace out.